All right. Good evening, students. I am making this video for one particular reason. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody, and I want to help you specifically with the assignments that are graded. So this particular video is going to be for the major grades. And the first one I'm going to go over is the homework August 30th, 22. That was the first major grade I assigned. So let me put it up on the screen so that we may begin. I'm going to be switching between these tabs so that you can follow along. So first one is this. Let me move some stuff around so I can do this easier. Come over this one. Reading. Move you over here to make sure. So y'all should be able to see it because I have my video on the screen right now so I can see what y'all are seeing. That way I can make sure I'm actually doing this correctly. So the homework, it says determine the area of each shaded region. I'm talking in this mask. So let's start the attempt. So this option right here is for the students who need help reading. So if you click this button, the problem will read to you, but it only reads what I type. So that means if it's not typed by me, if it's a picture, it's not going to read it at all. It's just going to go to the next thing. So that means it would read all of this, these words, and that's about it. So first, let's go to the bottom. We have 3 questions or problems. This third one is not a problem. That's where you're going to upload your work. As you can see, my button is faded out, so I will be explaining how this works because I won't be able to show you exactly how it works. So to make this video short and sweet, we'll start at the beginning. So I'm going to help you with problem solving. And of course, I'm going to stop before the solve part because the solving is going to be on you. I have my sheet of paper ready next to me. And when it's time for me to work on a paper, I'll make sure to remind myself to switch. So first, determine the area of each shaded region. A, one medium circle and one small circle touch each other, and each circle touches the large circle. So I have 4 boxes I need to fill in. Small circle, medium circle, large circle, area of shaded region, and here, this asterisk or star that I sometimes call it is a hint. Use this, I call it a caret, for the exponent because you don't have that option when you're typing in these kind of boxes. Example, if the answer was 34 centimeters squared, you would put 34 cm, then use the caret to do the exponent. If you don't know where this symbol is located, I also tell you where it is. You have to press the shift and 6. So press shift and 6 and you will get this symbol. And this is how your answer should be framed, with the answer in front, the units, and then of course the exponent attached. Now we've read the entire problem. Let's underline our question, or since this one doesn't have a question, we're going to highlight, because I can't underline on here, but I can highlight what it's asking me to do. It's asking me to find the area of the area of the shaded region. So I'm looking for the area of the shaded. I don't know why it says each shaded region, although it is split in 2 because you got this part over here and you got this part. So we're looking for the area of the shaded region. So what do we use to find area? Well, it actually depends on which shapes you have. And it tells us we have one medium circle, one small circle, and we have a large circle. So we're basically finding the area of a circle. But not just one circle, three circles. But since they are fully formed, there's no halves and there's no quarters. We basically just need the same formula for them all. So I'm going to switch to my paper. Okay, maybe I need to do a window. Give me one moment. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Yes. All right, give it a moment. It's loading. I'm trying to check it over here. All right, so we have the paper. So on the paper, I'm finding area of a circle. And not just one circle, three circles. So I have 1, 2, 3. Now, I need the formula, otherwise I'm not going to be able to solve these correctly. So area of a circle needs pi r to the power of 2. Now that I have my formula, I need pi. So remember, first comes formula, then comes numbers. So I need pi, which you should know, and it's also located on your reference sheet, is 3.14. Then we need r. But the thing is, we're not going to just have one r because we have to do this 3 times. So we need r for this circle, r for this circle, and r for this circle. So let's go back to our problem so we can see what radiuses or radii, since we have multiple, what radii we are dealing with. All right, so it should be loaded up. I'm always checking my screen to see if y'all are seeing what I'm seeing. So we have the small circle, which will be my C1. The small circle, it actually gives us the radius. So we have the center to a point on the circle. This is 3. So my radius for that is 3. For my medium circle, from the center to a point on the circle is 12. So the radius for my medium is 12. This is also meters. So this was 3 meters. This is 12 meters. Now for my large circle, I'm not going to fully give you the number, but on my paper, I will help you understand how this works. So for the large circle, you have to combine the elements you know about a circle to understand how to get this last part. Now you may be thinking, well, I don't really know anything about a circle. Well, you should, because we didn't talk about a couple of different vocabulary words that deal with circles. First off, you have the radius, which we just found on both of these circles. So these were radiuses. But having a radius is not going to help me with my big circle. Not exactly. Not completely. I need something else that's going to help me with my big circle. I need something else that's going to help me with my big circle. Another thing we know of is the circumference, which is the distance around a circle. Well, that's not really going to help me either, because I'm not trying to find the distance around. I'm trying to find the space within, which is the area. So circumference really isn't going to help you. Knowing the circumference is not going to help you in this problem. And knowing the radius of the two smaller ones are not going to help, because that's not going to help you get the radius of the big one. Well, there is a third vocabulary word, and that is the diameter. Remember that the diameter is a point, 2 points on the circle that goes through the center. So what that means is, since these circles, and pardon my circles, since these circles touch from one end of the large circle to the other end of the large circle, if we find the diameter, then we can work our way to the radius. Because while the radius is from the center to 1 point, the diameter is from 2 points to the center. So it is double. No matter where I move this line, the radius is going to be the same for the entire circle. So if I were to move it this way, well, I have to do it this way. If I were to move it this way, because my lines are not straight. If I were to move it this way, it would still be 12. And if I move it across, it will still be another 12. Because remember, it's from the center to a point on the circle. So that will be 12 and 12. Well, 12 and 12 gives me 24. So that takes me through my medium circle. But what about my small circle? Because I'm not to the other end of my large circle. Well, this one is 3. And if I move the line to go this way, that will give me another 3. And if I go this way, it will give me another 3. And these together give me my diameter. Well, this together is 6. So this distance is 6m. This one is 24m. Now if I put these together, that'll give me the distance from one end of my big circle, my large circle, to the other end of my large circle. So what do you think I'm going to need to put them together? And that's going to give me my diameter. Now, going back to what I said earlier, we needed to find the diameter so that we have the total number of the distance across. But we can't solve with diameter since we're doing area. We need the radius. So then the next question is, how do we go from diameter to radius? Well, if you remember what I said earlier, diameter goes from one end to the other through the middle, while the radius only goes from one point on the circle to the center, which means it takes 2 of these to make one of this, while one of these is too big to make this. So if I want to go this way, from radius to diameter, I'm going to have to use 2 of these. So I would need 2 R's. Well, if this line is too big, I'm not going to want to increase it. I'm going to want to decrease it. So I would actually need half of this. Since it takes 2 of these to make it, I only want half of it to go the other direction. So once you divide the diameter, that will give you your final radius. And then once you have your final radius, it is time to put it into the formula. So I'm going to start you off with the first one, and then you have to finish these off to put it into the assignment. And then I will describe the last step. So circle 1, we have our pi, which is 3.14, and we're multiplying that by 3 squared. Remember, PEMDAS dictates that you have to do exponents before you do any type of multiplication. So we have to do the E before we do the M, which means we have to deal with this first. Exponents tell you how many times or how many of the base number, which is this number, that we are using. In the case of this one, that means we are using 2 3s. And exponents means we are repeatedly multiplying. So that gives us 3 times 3. 3 times 3, you should know, gives you 9. And then you're going to multiply the 9 by 3.14. I am not going to finish that off. Finish solving the problem and put your answer in the assignment. Now, once you have the area of your small circle, the area of your medium circle, and the area of your large circle, going back to the question, it said we wanted the area of the shaded region, and the large one has shaded parts. These two are non-shaded. But they are within the large circle. So if all I want is the shaded parts, I'm going to have to take these away from this. If we're taking something away, what operation are we doing? Subtraction. And as long as you're subtracting the correct numbers, you will arrive at the area of the shaded region. Now let's move on to number 2. Because number 2 was, from what I've seen, a difficult one as well. So let's look at number 2. So for number 2, we have 2 shapes. And it describes it here. Determine the area of each shaded region, and a rectangle is inscribed in a circle. So we are still looking for area. But this time we have a rectangle instead of another circle. And we still have a circle. So instead of 3 circles, we only have 2 shapes, a rectangle and a circle. Which means we only have 3 things to do. Find the area of a circle, find the area of a rectangle, and find the area of the shaded region. Most students have been getting the rectangle correctly. I'm mostly doing this for the circle and the shaded region. So let's look at this. The circle one you did from before. So moving on to this one, you should know how to find the area of a circle. Now here's the thing. For area of a circle, we need the radius. If you look in this box, the point that touches the circle starts here, goes through the center, and goes to this end. And the length of that line is 10. This 10 is the diameter, and we cannot use diameter for area. So you have to find the radius given this. For the rectangle, it is pretty simple. The base, which is the bottom of the shape, is 8. And of course, the height is 6. Because remember, the height starts at the base and goes to the top of the shape. If you don't remember how to solve for a rectangle, this information is located on your reference sheet, which is A equals B times H. Since we are once again looking for the area of the shaded region, you're going to have to take out the unshaded part, which means you're going to have to subtract. And once you do that, you should arrive at your answer if your numbers from the previous two, the circle and the rectangle, are correct. Now to upload your work, take a picture, and wherever that picture is located, you would come back here to the upload files and you would find that picture. If you have more than one picture, so that means you did this on 2 pages, once you upload once, this button will disappear and you will have to click this button, the arrow with the line under it, to upload another picture if you have more than one. Once you've uploaded everything you need to, hit review, finish, and your button will say submit. And once you have submitted, you are done with this assignment. If you have any further questions, you can ask me during class if we have time. Otherwise, this is still homework, so please complete it at home. Bye.